Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to start with Chapter 6, The Rain and the Revelation. The breakfast room at Longbourn. A letter arrives from Netherfield. Mrs. Bennet's hands tremble as she reads the invitation. Miss Bingley has invited Jane to dinner, but only Jane, and she must go on horseback because the carriage is occupied. The tension is palpable. Mrs. Bennet, sensing a tactical opening to get her daughter alone with Mr. Bingley, is ecstatic. She maneuvers the situation so Jane must travel by horse, knowing full well that rain is threatening. It is a calculated gamble on her daughter's health for the sake of a match. Elizabeth, suspicious of the Bingley sisters' ulterior motives, is deeply unsettled by the entire affair. Jane is genuinely excited, oblivious to the danger. Beside her, Elizabeth is the picture of concerned intuition. She watches the gathering clouds through the window, the grey light mirroring her growing anxiety. The countryside road. The sky has turned a violent, bruised charcoal. Rain begins to fall in sheets, blurring the world. Jane is seen struggling on her horse, soaked to the bone, her hair plastered to her face. A messenger arrives at Longbourn later that evening with a note: Jane is ill. The inevitable disaster has struck. Jane is bedridden at Netherfield with a severe cold. Elizabeth, true to her character, refuses to wait for a carriage and treks through the mud and fields herself to reach her sister. It is a moment of raw, authentic sisterhood. She arrives at Netherfield disheveled, her petticoat 6 inches deep in mud, a sight that shocks the refined inhabitants of the manor. Elizabeth walking into the elegant, pristine drawing room of Netherfield. The stark contrast between her mud-stained clothes and the Bingley's immaculate silk gowns is a visceral, visual assault on the rigid class standards of the household. The drawing room. Miss Bingley and Mrs. Hurst are barely masking their disdain for Elizabeth's appearance. They are the epitome of polite cruelty, using sarcasm as a weapon. This is a masterclass in social friction. While Bingley is genuinely concerned for Jane, his sisters are busy critiquing Elizabeth's behavior and her family's lack of decorum. Mr. Darcy, meanwhile, is watching from the corner. He is caught between his intellectual attraction to Elizabeth's wit and his rigid adherence to the social order that tells him she is beneath him. She is sharp, defiant, and unafraid. He is inscrutable, his gaze lingering on her just a second too long. The attraction is clearly growing, but it is masked by thick layers of mutual, defensive pride. Jane's bedroom. The lighting is warm, intimate, and quiet. Elizabeth sits by the bed, nursing her sister back to health. The chaos of the drawing room feels miles away. For a brief moment, the vanity and the social maneuvering vanish. We see the genuine care Elizabeth has for Jane. Even the Bingley sisters are forced to play the part of the concerned hostess, though their interest is clearly superficial. The scene underscores the core of the story: beneath the balls and the marriage plots, the love between the sisters is the only thing that is truly real. The two sisters talking in low tones. Elizabeth's face is softened by concern, while Jane's is pale but radiant with affection. Elizabeth sitting alone in the library, attempting to read a book while the others gossip. She is physically surrounded by wealth, yet she has never felt more like an outsider. Elizabeth's trek through the mud to save her sister is one of the most iconic acts of defiance in the book. Does this moment make her a hero, or is it a reckless disregard for the social decorum she is supposed to uphold? We're deep in the lion's den now. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to ensure you don't miss the next showdown between Elizabeth and the Bingley sisters. Share your take in the comments, and click Next Chapter to see how a simple evening of music leads to a total breakdown of social composure.